for this opportunity. I've been sitting long enough, so I should have some minutes. I'm just asking you all to pray for me and pray with me. But I'll be coming from, as you take and see, I'll be coming from Luke, the 15th chapter, starting at the 11th verse. So I can read for me.
And he said, a certain man had 2 sons. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto them his living.
My God, they want to know where you're coming from.
There you go.
Luke 15.
I said Luke 15 and 11th verse. Amen. Everybody got it? Say amen. Amen. Luke 15 and 11th verse.
Glory.
Yes, ma'am.
And he said, a certain man had 2 sons. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto them his living. And not many days after the younger son gathered all together, he took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine. And he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. And when he came to himself, he said, How many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy hired servants. And he arose and came to his father, but when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servant, Bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and his shoes on his feet. And bring hither the fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead, and is alive again. He was lost, and is found, and they began to be merry.
Now with that being said, I want you to look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
I'm going back home.
I'm going back home.
I've been in that place.
I've been in that
way
place
too long.
way too long.
I don't know about you, but when I began to look at this, and it said that first he had got like this big shot upon him, and he said, Father, I want you to give me what I deserve. So the father did not say anything. He began to divide it. And so that younger son began to went on his way. He packed up and left home. Some of us think we ready for things and we begin to walk out before time. But sometimes God has to let us go through that place so he can get us where we supposed to be.
That's right.
So as he began to go out, he began to spend all he had. Sometimes the Lord will allow you to lose everything you got to let you know that it's still him that working, not you yourself.
That's right.
And when he began to spend all that he had to go back and begin to eat with the pigs. How many know he'll bring you to your lowest place? The things you say you wouldn't do, you'll end up doing when you get out the will of God. And I'm a witness of that. Sometimes God has to bring you back to reality and let you know that if you get out of my will, these are the things that will happen. Things that don't supposed to happen, but it happened because of your disobedience. But it says he came to his senses. In the midst of your trial, in the midst of your hard place, in the midst of the place where you don't belong, something will allow you to come back. You'll snap back. So when the devil think he got you down, and he think you that you won't get back up, the Lord will cause you to bounce back. that, you begin to say, okay, what am I doing in this place? So he began to get his speech together. The speech that he thought he was going to tell his father. But I began to look at this, and he said, I'm going to tell my father I sinned, and I'm not worthy to be called a son, so let me just get in the door and be a servant. But how many know when you're chosen and when you're a son, you can't be a servant? Because you're his son. And he called you into that position. So what I like it right here, it said, but while he was still a long way. So while you were still in the midst of your mess, while you still had dirt on you, while people still were saying what you did last night, what you did a year ago, how you got locked up, how you did this and that, even when you fall off, even when you ain't under the cover no more, God still got his hands on you. And it said, but while he still was a long way off, his father showed him. How many know that God knows who you are? I don't care if you have mud on you. I don't care if you look broke, busted, and disgusted. And I can imagine that his hair was messed up. His hands probably were messed up. His clothes was torn up. But that daddy said, that's still my son. It may be worthless, but it's still mine. It may hang it over the fire, but it's still mine. I ain't lost everything. He may call shame on the family, but he's still mine. In the midst of his pain, in the midst of his confused mind, that's still my son. And I believe that son said, Daddy, enough is enough. I'm coming home. I don't wait around too long. I don't mess around too long. I'm coming home. I can't stay there no more. I've been there too long. Somebody say yes. Somebody say yes. Somebody give God some glory. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, I once passed it. I once passed it. When the devil had me out, God turned me in. When the devil said we don't make it, God picked me up. God picked me up. And God did it. He made a way out of no way. He took my midnight and turned it into I can imagine God still had a banner of love upon him. Which means that even though you messed up, see, I'm going to know that your neighbor and your so-called friend, they'll remember when you used to be. They'll always try to put you in that box like she said last night. Oh, you remember, so you in the pulpit now. But you remember what happened to you. You remember you got locked up and he didn't tell the story right. You remember how you did this and that. You were changing boyfriends and stuff. Well, I come to tell you something. When God erased things, it doesn't matter what people say. Because I know who my daddy is. I know who my master is. I know who my father is. And when you really begin to repent before God, he'll wash everything away. On it says, but while he was still a long way off, his father saw him. And his father was filled with compassion. And he ran to his son and threw his arms around him and kissed him on his neck. Now, very well, how many know that anybody can hug you, but when you begin to throw your arms around somebody, that means they covering you. So before he entered back into the city, as I began to read and study on last night, that when he was going back into the city, see, he could have been killed. But that daddy began to wrap